Hello everyone, Shugyojmie here again, here to talk to you today about changing your life, changing your inner self, the things you need to do to make yourself happier, healthier, and wealthy. Not in money, but in the wonderful things that you can have in your life. If any of you have looked at my other videos, you know that for a long time I've told you that the things that I've been showing you, Qigong, weapons, other things, can be modified to fit anything you need. Well, and I've often said to people I taught over the years, I've taught people of all conditions, athletic abilities, martial art degrees, all kinds of things. And what I've always said is if you can blink your eyes and breathe on your own, you can do Qigong. The hard part, though, is when you've had a change in your abilities. The hard part, I guess, is to decide that you still want to do these things. Because right now, when I have started doing these tapes again, it's been a good few months since I've even attempted any of this kind of stuff. Predominantly because of the development of what doctors call rheumatoid arthritis in me, especially from my elbows down. And a lot of the longer full movements that I do involve a lot of knee bends, a lot of twisting of the hips, and I haven't wanted to do them. I still had hoped to go further in the various martial arts that I do, especially Japanese swordsmanship, and now it's become apparent that unless I have some kind of change in my physical self, I will no longer do that because my body can't take it. Even with the things that I do myself slowly, a couple of times when I went back to trying my regular routine, later on that day and the next day I found that it was not worth what it was doing to my knees. But, you know, to be honest with y'all, I kind of grumbled inside my head without really saying anything to anybody, and then at some point, the very words that I said myself, I can change this. I can modify it to fit what I can do. And if I do that, I will be able to find more healing in that. It appears to be that right now I shouldn't do anything with a lot of quick movements, a lot of knee bending. Anyone that has not done any of these arts, the quicker you move, the more likely you are to not feel an injury or a spot that you may not want to do or pause on. Also, the quicker you move, the more energy you expel. So if you're trying to heal, if you're trying to bring in either mental, physical, or spiritual wellness, actually the slower you move, the better you are. At times when that was all I was working on was healing, I was moving like this. Or even slower. And I found the benefits of that stuff very great. In fact, so great that it healed me to such a degree that then I was able to do the more hard form arts such as Aikido, Jiu-Jitsu, Bagwajang, but that was a long time ago when I focused on only that. That was at a time when I felt like that's what I had to focus on. It was the only thing I could do. And now it's such a funny thing because the very things I started this kind of stuff, this Qigong, to be able to go back to that stuff. But then I reached a point where I enjoyed what I was doing so much I really seldom did anything else. Here and there I would, but mostly I just learned more about what I was doing myself. And that is the interesting thing about these kind of movements, is no matter how long you've been doing them, they change you. The movements change. You come to understand things that you couldn't in any other way. I understand things about my personal practice of Qigong and the way it flows and the way it feels that I could probably never explain to somebody unless they became my student and I worked with them for 20 years. There are nuances of this that are so internal, I'm not sure I could ever do anything except show you. And then you may not understand what you're looking at when you see it. So I'm back outside today. I'm not really going to go into Qigong how-to here. This is about the internal part, the finding the way and the reason and the desire to do this in spite of whatever limitations you may have. I did bring a staff with me and a sword, and in a minute I'm going to start my very, very slow, very different Qigong practice to see if it can, along the way, help me heal. And I decided, when I'd been thinking about this, to post this to some of my sites because it is something the rest of you may want to consider, whether you're a martial artist, whether you're in recovery, whether you are trying to deal with some kind of PTSD, mental or emotional strife. Everyone has their own little limitations. And so I'm just here to say it's not as easy to change what you want when you don't want to change it. I guess that's the hard part. Is if everything were equal, I'd be perfect, but I'm not. So I'm going to work with what I've got. I'm going to slowly come to understand what I can do, what I can't do, what I pay too much for if I do, and that is the new way for me. Which is really all what I've always done. I just, like many people, I reach a point where I have to grumble for a while first. So I hope this helps you all in some way. Please feel free to contact me in any way you need to. I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube, and I would be willing to give you any help that I know how to do. Thank you and goodbye. Mahalo, as they say.